everybody. So nice to be here. A bit of audience participation very early on. Can you stand up if you have been in a hybrid meeting, hybrid facilitated meeting in the last little while? Is that your thing? Have you guys all done this? Okay, not everyone, but almost everyone. Okay, terrific. Sit down. Thank you. Can you also stand up? I'll do this 3 times and then we'll stop if you're getting motion sickness. Can you stand up if you have facilitated a hybrid meeting? Not been a participant, but you've actually been the facilitator. They all hide at the back. Oh, no, they don't. Fabulous. Good, about half of you. I'd love to learn from your experience today. And then the third one is, can you stand up if you love hybrid facilitation? There we go. You go. I want to start with a bit of a story because what exactly happened just now is what my experience has been, right? We are all learning our way into this new hybrid landscape-ish and trying to figure out how to do it well, and how we feel about it. And so what I thought would be helpful today would be to share some of my learnings with you thus far, because I'm someone who is working across multiple organizations and multiple settings trying to figure this out. So about a year ago, I really did feel like my conversations with my clients, I work mostly in strategy facilitation with large community-facing organizations. So universities, big nonprofits, local governments, health organizations. And my conversations with my clients were not going well. Not because they were conflictual or ending badly, but just because I didn't like how I was showing up in them in that stage of pandemic-ish life where we were going, okay, are we doing this in person? Are we doing it digitally? Is it going to be hybrid? How's this going to go? If it's going to be that, have you thought about this? But if we do that, do you think people will, hang on. And I just felt like we were having these long scoping meetings multiple times, and then I would show up at the session and whatever we talked about wasn't what happened anyway, right? And I didn't like how I was sounding like I was constantly sounding the alarm. And in some ways, that's what people hire me for, is kind of process expertise. But in other ways, I don't want to be the one that's constantly going, yeah, but if you do that, it's not really going to work very well. And if you do, yeah, no, that's not going to work either. That was kind of my vibe last fall. And so I decided to set myself about 3 months to learn my way into hybrid. And so what was coming out of my mouth was things like, if you want seamless, predictable, excellent, we're going digital. If you're willing to learn along with me into hybrid facilitation, I will happily do that with you, but it might be a bit bumpy. You know, so you kind of have to know your context and know if they're willing to give it a shot or not. And so I intentionally learned into that for about 3 months with an intention of having a much better, cleaner, more positive script out of my mouth for the clients by about Christmas last year. I sound a bit uptight about such things, and I normally am not, but I was at this stage. So by about Christmas, I was much better able to say, okay, here's the deal, here are the questions we need to think about, make your decision along these lines. So in about the spring, I was getting really tired. I mean, we've all been really tired for a long time, but I was more tired in the spring than I had been at Christmas, and I was trying to figure out why. And I realized it was because the menu of options that I had been presenting my clients had basically tripled in size. I was already offering too many things, as I want to do. And then it was, oh, is that going to be a digital thing, an in-person thing, or a hybrid thing? So basically the menu had tripled. So the uncertainty that we were already experiencing had grown exponentially in that sense, or at least tripled, because I was introducing a measure of uncertainty by giving my clients choice that I have now kind of taken back and said, actually, I'm not willing to offer every single thing I do in every single format at the client's discretion, right? So, and I realize some of you don't really, my language of clients may not suit your environment, but I'm sure internally, for those of you that are L&D people, internally, you have sponsors of meetings or the people that you are serving internally as well. So what I thought I would do for today is kind of let you in on that thought process and that learning process of where I've landed right now, recognizing that 6, 12 months from now, the story might be different again. But I think that our collective experience is really important to share, because if people like us aren't the ones leading the way in terms of solidly done, well thought through hybrid facilitation, who else will? I think people who are professional facilitators in whatever way that shows up for you need to be the ones that are actually learning our way into this and leading the way in this, to say either, let's embrace it and do it well and here's what that takes, or let's abandon it because it's not working.